Alright, so, as is custom, I fucked up the audio. I got game audio, but no microphone, because OBS is, kind of weird sometimes. But, I think this draft is pretty important to go through, because there's a very, strong archetype in the format that people are sleeping on. And I think it's because of how the format played out with Midnight Hunt that people are afraid of it. So we start off here. We have Aerith, Storm Chaser Drake, Courier Bat, and Gluttonous Guest. Now, Courier Bat, Gluttonous Guest are really strong. Probably my number 2 and 3 for top black commons. I think there's black is really good in this set, just like it was in Midnight Hunt. But I think the difference is blue is really bad. So I think black-white is kind of the deck to beat, maybe, or black-red. But we're going to take the Aerith and see what we can do. It's new in the format. We want to try out some new stuff. And we get past in a Braid. There's a Screaming Swarm, which is annoying, suitably annoying. And to play against, but it is slow. In this format's, proactive, like most Magic formats are these days. So we're going to pick up an Abrade here pretty easily. It's still, I think Abrade is my top common. But so pretty easy Abrade here, I think. And now we see a Brambleworm. So, okay, Brambleworm is one of the top uncommons. And we also have a Blood Petal Celebrant here, which is, I think, the best red 2-drop. But I'm taking a pick 3. Brambleworm is kind of a sign. Green has a very easy time splashing in this format because of Weaver of Blossoms, and then there's a 1/2 for 2 mana that becomes a Werebear, a 4/4 if you have, like, I think it's 3 or 4 creatures in the yard. So, yeah, so I think I'm gonna speculate on this Brambleworm because it's late. And now I get past a Wolf Strike, Weaver of Blossoms, Sawblade Slinger's Medium. It's situationally useful, but sometimes it can snap off a zombie or something. The problem is, like, a lot of zombies have 3 power, and it's a fight, not a bite on Sawblade Slinger. And sometimes your opponent just doesn't have any zombies out. So, anyway, I think Weaver of Blossoms here is something that, considering I already have an Abrade, is something that I'd want to pick up. So, seems pretty clear to me. I mean, you could defend Wolf Strike here, I think, as well. But I've been really happy with Weaver of Blossoms, and we already have a card that, we'd think about splashing. So, here we get kind of a bad pack. Oh. We have a Prince Sharpshooter, which I've not been impressed with. I think the training cards, for the most part, I haven't been impressed with. There's an uncommon 2/2 flyer for 4 mana that can jump another creature for 2 that has training. That's pretty good. But for the most part, I haven't been happy with a lot of training stuff. But here there's really not a lot going on. Like, the 2-drop Flame Breather thing is not good. And if we're going red-green, if we're red-blue, which doesn't look likely, it's good. But here it's between Sporeback Wolf or the uncommon. Now, my thought process here is I got a lot of big butts. So right now, all my creatures survive Vampire's Vengeance. But it's probably correct just to take a 2-drop here. This might be a mistake to take Vampire's Vengeance. I was very much overestimating the card and then the blood token. But green, like, it's hard to find creatures in green that die to that effect, so it's certainly not terrible. But I think the pick is still Sporeback Wolf. Now here is an interesting pick between Hunter and Ripsaw. Ripsaw hasn't been the worst for me. I think, knowing what I know now about the format, I think Reckless Impulse is probably in consideration here. And it just goes in, I mean, it's just a fine spell. It doesn't work well if you do have like bramble worms and big drops in your deck, though, unfortunately. Um, you usually want to do it with a bunch of cheap stuff so you can make the most out of what's going on. So far, though, the format has been different. It seems heavily like a Mardu format. You know, you want to be white, black, red. Green and blue seem like a lot of do nothing type um, colors so far to me. There's really nothing good here. I'm not happy with any of these cards. Taking an Alchemist Retrieval just in case we end up blue somehow. We haven't seen, other than the Abrade, any red, so I'm still thinking we might be in green-blue at this point, but we'll have to see. We haven't... Pack 2, theoretically, should be good for us. There's a Ridge Wolf here. Now I'm really wishing I took that Sporeback Wolf over Vampire's Vengeance here, because that does die to Vampire's Vengeance. One of the few non-vampire 2-drops in red that dies to it. By a few, I mean only, but we get another Ridge Wolf here. I'm going to take that over Disciple because we're not white. And then we get another, hopefully we get something else on the wheel here, but the Ridge Wolf wheeling is a good sign. It's a fine 2-drop in green-red. They work good in multiples, so... And yeah, we get another one. We got 3. And then we wheel the Wolf Strike, which we were thinking about taking over Weaver of Blossom. So that's a very good sign for us. Very good sign. Obviously, we're not going to open anything cool that we can play. Not for our deck. And we open complete garbage. Just total garbage for us. The one color we didn't see any cards for. We have 3, 4 good ones. We have a Bomb, Mythic, and then a very good uncommon, and the 2 top commons, I want to say. I think Infantry, Minister, and Kindly Ancestor are the best commons in white. Not sure what order. I think Ancestor's probably 3rd, but really nothing playable, so I don't care. And again, we get past garbage. Just total junk here. Unplayable. Just unplayable. Total junk. Yeah, I mean... So we have 3 options here. We have Magma Pummeler, we have Snarling Wolf, and Sporeback Wolf. I think it's between Sporeback Wolf and Magma Pummeler, but we do have the 3 Ridge Wolves, which makes me think maybe we get this Sporeback Wolf. But Pummeler, for not having removal, is good, and if we have Weaver and stuff... So this pack has sucked so far. We do get a Ridge Wolf, or a Runebound Wolf, I mean, which is, you know, supposedly a Signpost uncommon, which isn't bad. It might wheel, however, so we could take a Spore Crawler, which is just a solid 3-drop for us. We do have 1 Apprentice Sharpshooter, which it's good with. Yeah, Spore Crawler's fine. But there's a Signpost. Yeah, I think we're banking on it, on the Ridge Wolf wheeling, or the whatever, Rune Wolf. Another Weaver of Blossoms, which is really good. There's also the Oakshade Stalker, which is a 3/3 for 3, which is fine, and then you can pay a couple extra to flash it in, which is good if you're already in Daybound Nightbound, so you can wait for your opponent to go, and then flash in a 6/3 thing that can attack the next turn. But you really want it to have like Trample or something. Another Spore Crawler is good here. It's a good pickup. And then we get gifted a Wolfkin Outcast. There's 3 cards we really want here. We want the 2-drop Blood Petal Celebrant. Obviously, it's the 3rd on the list here. Weaver of Blossoms. I'd probably play another one, yeah. We have a Brambleworm and a Flourishing Hunter, so we also have Magma Pummeler as well to dump mana into, but it's a clear Wolfkin Outcast. We're the Wolf deck. We had a ton of Wolves and Werewolves right now. I think we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the Outcast. So, and we're only in back 2. So, one thing to note: Dawnheart Disciple does work with werewolves, right? So, they come in if it's daytime. Dawnheart Disciple works with werewolves. So the Weaver of Blossoms and the Outcast both count. A Snarling Wolf, you know, it's whatever. And we did get the Runebound Wolf, so now we are in business. We are good. We have 6 humans in this deck right now. Aerith is one of them, so we're probably gonna have to cut that, but here we are. And we'll see what garbage rare we open. Well, Wolf Rider is medium. It is a wolf, but I think Brambleworm's just better. It's just a better card. There's also a Spore Crawler in here. Dormant Grove is impressed me. Giving all your creatures vigilance is kind of a big game if you have a big board, and obviously you'll have a bunch of fatties with Dormant Grove, so. But I think it's an easy Brambleworm here. I don't really care about. I have 2 Weaver of Blossoms, so. Here we have a Cloaked Cadet. And I do have some humans, but I don't really have training. So the other option would just be a Ridgewolf, which I'm pretty sure is going to wheel, so it doesn't really matter what I do here. I could speculate on a Cloaked Cadet, but I mean, what's the point? I don't see myself getting green training cards. The Cadet can train itself, so and you still get the cards off it, but the 2-drop here. So I'm at a pretty high. I have a bunch of 2-drops. I have 5 plus Snarling Wolf right now. So usually in this format you want at least 5. Anything after that's gravy, but you'll take as many as you can get. Wolf Strike, much needed interaction. Now we get another Wolf Strike and a Hookhand Mariner, which I don't have yet, and I really do want. So this is a tough pick. All I have is a Braid and 2 Wolf Strikes for interaction. You need a lot of interaction in this format because it's so bomb heavy. But a 3rd Wolf Strike is a lot. So I have 0 4-drops or 5-drops at this point. So like, what am I doing with Weaver of Blossoms other than my big fatties I have? I guess you could consider Wolfkin Outcast a 4-drop actually, because I have wolves in play all the time. It's hard for me to see a scenario in which I don't have a wolf in play. Then you have Falconwrath Celebrants, which is a fine 5-drop in any deck. The blood tokens are just useful to stop you from flooding, you know? And it's a 4/4 menace. Prevents you from flooding. Relevant body. So, it's good. Another Spore Crawler. We'll take as many of those as we can get. Looking pretty straightforward. Red-green beatdown, which is strong in this format because I think stats matter a lot more in this format because the removal's worse. There's Bleed Dry, which is really good. I think the white tap to cleave thing to destroy an attacker, or you can pay 6 to destroy any creatures is good, but I'm just rounding out the draft. I don't think we're going to see anything here. Massive Might's a good trick, actually. It's a fine trick. See, look at this format. You get so many 3-drops. I have 8. I do have a lot of 2-drops and stuff, which I'm happy with. Another wolf. I don't think I need it. I have 5, 6, 7 1 and 2 drops right here, which is good. Why would they ever reprint Bramble Armor? It doesn't make any sense to me. I see a lot of creature-heavy decks in this format. Again, removal's bad. I don't think Wizards really knows what to do with card draw these days, because Scattered Thought, like, you get card draw from all your creatures and stuff, and you have like mana sink mechanics like Disturb and Flashback or whatever, blood tokens to prevent you from flooding and draw cards. So you really don't need a lot of, just raw card draw spells these days. Like even Thirst for Discovery. Why would I play Thirst for Discovery over even Stitched Assistant in blue, or Binding Geist in blue. Why would you're spending mana to do nothing on the board when you could play a creature that does something on the board and it has value anyway, I think Wizards got to figure out what to do with card draw. They got to either make it cheaper, more instant speed, or make it so that you just draw more cards. Alright, I think this is what we're rolling with. 2 Bramble Worms, Flourishing Hunter as finishers, and then a bunch of Wolves and Spore Crawlers for value. We have 4 Hungry Reach Wolves. 3/2 Tramplers for 2 is good, so we'll take it. No rares in a bomb-heavy format, which is just asking for trouble. We don't have a lot of interaction. We have 1 Abrade and 2 Wolf Strikes. And now we're getting not good hands. I think we keep, on the draw, you keep this. But 1 red mana, and we should be good to go. 1 mana of any color, and we can play Spore Crawler, and that dies into more cards. So that was a great draw. Best draw we could ask for. Fleeting Spirit is super annoying, because you can't kill it with removal. But it's not, it's still underperforms in a lot of situations because there's a lot of big butts in this format. And its activation cost is pretty steep. Like, exiling 3 cards from your yard, that's a lot of cards. So. Feeling good. When you're on the draw, it's important to have cheap removal and defensive 2-drops and 3-drops, of course, which we did have, right? Blood Petal Celebrant is an offensive card, but when it dies, it makes a blood token, so you get an effect from that. Spore Crawler, when it dies, you draw a card. So those are great defensive cards to have. I think Blood Petal Celebrant plays both sides of the fence pretty well. It trades up a lot, Blood Petal Celebrant, for like 3/2s, and leaves you a blood token. So not bad for your 2 draws, and it also attacks well. So I think I'm really impressed by that card. It's an easy double block there. I don't care about Spore Crawler. I want it to die. I do take 4 here, but I have ways to gain life with Flourishing Hunter. So now I can play Celebrants, or I can play another Spore Crawler and hold up a Braid. My opponent is Hellbent here. So I can take this moment to get rid of Fleeting Spirit or prevent them from training there, because when that dies, it's going to make something of it. It's going to make the Fleeting Spirit a 4/2, and I don't want a 4/2 First Striker. Now we didn't draw our land, so it is a Celebrant's time. Still love our position. 3 cards in hand. Opponent's on 4 mana. We have 3 blood tokens. So, yeah, really like our spot here. Here, I just don't care. I'll take a 2 for 1. They do get to draw a card off Spore Crawler, which is sort of letting my opponent get back in the game and draw ahead. However, I have Flourishing Hunter and Magma Pummeler that I want to clear the way for, right? It's my big fatties. Even though, well, Magma Pummeler's not a big fatty, but Flourishing Hunter, I need to clear the way for that. What I didn't realize is it made their 1/2 into a 4/4, which is really bad for me. And I don't want them gang blocking Hunter, but at the same time, like, it's nighttime for my wolf stack. Happy about that. And now we can go ahead. We were pretty sure they have a trick here. They have something, right? They drew 2 cards. They did play a land, so pretty sure they got something. So it could be the kill spell. Yeah. Fierce Retribution. But happy they did it on that instead of Flourishing Hunter, so we'll take it. Here I'm getting greedy and I want the 2, and I want my life from Flourishing Hunter. But now they're drawing Hellbent again. I can 2 for 1 them here potentially. So my thought is if they didn't draw land, but of course they're going to draw the land, right? Yeah, of course they did. So now I have to just, yeah, I think I played that whole sequence pretty poorly right there. Like I should have gotten more value off of Hunter. I leave my opponent open to top deck, which they do. They always do. Here, I'm like, well, maybe I just get a bunch of shit on the board, yeah? I could swing here, but once the 3/1 becomes a first striker, I need a way to block it. So I'm thinking I might have to burn them out. I have blood tokens. My opponent should be more likely to draw land, maybe. That's not gonna help them. Helps me. We'll crack my blood token. See what we can do here. Oh, exactly. Now I need a land for it, though. And there it is. Alright, so now I'm feeling good. Here, I don't care if they want to... They wanted to double block, yeah. They can't deal with the bramble worm. But see, that's like how beatdown works. A lot of the decks in this format, you know, in Modern Magic Limited, every deck is aggressive, or most decks are aggressive. So you need to be on board no matter what. But because there's so much card advantage in Magic and Limited these days, like, you can do all of the things. And I think what Red Green does is it builds, you know, a fat board. It generates card advantage from shit like Spore Crawlers, random blood tokens, what have you. And then it eventually just wins with stats. A fine hand on the draw, as we are wont to be. But we play Ridgewolf. It attacks as a 3/2 on turn 3, so we can trade it if we want. Or we have a Braid up. Never Trick. We have Bramble Worm. And we're up against Green-Blue. So care about either of those creatures are just kind of throwaway. So don't care. But now I can get my Weaver of Blossoms, and I can play Hookhand Mariner and leave Massive Might up next turn. Obviously not gonna block here. And they have their own Hookhand Mariner. So now I gotta decide, okay, does my opponent have bounce? Do they have their own trick? What do I do? Because they're coming in, right? And if they swing in, do I just take the trade? There's a lot to be considered here. I'm inclined to just take the trade in case they have like Wolf Strike in response or something in this situation, and I don't mind trading. I'm playing for Bramble Worm right now. I don't, you know. If it flips tonight, I can cast Bramble Worm next turn. Obviously it's not, but I'm 1 mana away from Bramble Worm. I can shoot something. I still have a trick available to try to block, and now I have enough mana for everything. So I can go to Knight here, make my thing a 3/4, and then I have blocks on their entire board. Which seems good to me. So. And then next turn, I can play Bramble Worm and have mana for Massive Might up. So I'm liking my spot. If they have a counterspell, we're pretty boned, but it is what it is. So Syncopate wrecks us here. Moldgraph Millipede. Haven't been impressed with that card, and here's why. Instant speed removal on a card. They paid 5 mana for that. They paid 5 mana to get wrecked like that, and then they mill. Go ahead and mill themselves. Just not ideal. And now I can eat their taxidermist. So this turn is devastating for the opponent. Just devastating. Get wrecked. Gain 5 life. Looking bad. Now, my opponent has a really sweet double block on Brambleworm. Because they get value from Geist and they get value from Spore Crawler. But I have another fatty. So I don't care. And then I gain 6 more life. So if they want to trade their board, they can go ahead and trade their board. They're going to let it through, which to me is a mistake. I think you take the trade there. I'm tapped out. Maybe they thought I had another trick. I had a werewolf. But they don't have attacks here. I think you trade your things for the Brambleworm and try to build your board back up. Now I'm out for blood, so I gotta take the double block here. Yeah, now they do it. They took 7 damage unnecessarily last turn. They should have been at 10 here. No. Well, they should have been at 10. Again, like, it's not good. But they have 2 cards in hand. Like, if they're at 10... they're in a good spot. Obviously, I'm at 28. I don't care. Yeah, that's not a very good card. So maybe opponent was a little newer. But I think they should have double blocked the Brambleworm when they had the chance. Take the good trade. Draw your card. Get your Spectral Binding on the Flourishing Hunter. Make it a 4/6. And then see if you can find a way back. You're in green-blue, so you should have ways to draw cards and hopefully claw yourself back into it. What do I know, though? It's a fine hand. We have a 2-drop. Actually, it's not a very good hand. We have a 2-drop, a 4-drop, a 5-drop, and a 6-drop. We would really want a 3 here. It's a very expensive hand, and with no interaction. It's another 2-drop, and that makes things good. That's good for us. Can attack as a 3/2 next turn. And then we can play another wolf, which is sweet. So the old 2-drop, 2-drop, 4-drop curve. Gonna braid that if I want, but I don't think it's worth. I mean, they obviously take the trade. Yeah. Still have my wolf left over. Play 5/4 for 4. Pretty sweet deal. Pretty sweet deal. If it lives. We are out of gas, though. And they do have a bomb rare. That card is stupid. It's a stupid bomb rare. But I'm dealing 7. So it's not helping them so much right now. They do have 5 cards in hand. I have 2 removal spells. It's nighttime. I got a big board. And any wolf they kill draws me a card. So best thing they could do right here is play like Diregraph Scavenger, I think. I do have ways to deal with it, but you know, they don't know that. So they have something, that's clear, but I gotta walk into it. I don't have a choice. Draw my card. Yep. It's fine. I draw a card. And then I play a 4/4 menace. I'm cool with it. I don't know why I swung with the Bulk there. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking if they didn't have anything. Like, I think what the opponent should have done... Well, here's what I was thinking. I didn't want them to get a bunch of 2/2s. Right? Because if that thing flips, now they have a ton of power on the board. Now I'm in some trouble. Because my Falconwrath dude can't get through here. So it's nighttime, right? So that allows me to kill the guest. But then I do this and play Weaver of Blossoms. I do flip it back today, but this is how I win this game here. Unless they have that 1-mana trick in black. Undying Malice, I think it's called. Which would completely wreck me. So I think the correct thing was for me to go after the token, because the Undying Malice doesn't work on tokens. Actually, I don't... Yes, it should have been, then they wouldn't have gotten a counter from it. So, yeah, it was correct to do that on the token. Now their board's getting pretty nasty. So, I think I have to shift gears here and try to kill them with a Rune Bundle. It'll deal 3 each turn. I have a Braid in my back pocket, but if they get rid of Wolf, we're pretty screwed. They're thinking, are they still on 4 mana? Ridiculous. If they were drawing lands here, and they could play creatures, we'd be in a lot of trouble. They have 3/4 lifelinker. It's not good for me. Love me a Spore Crawler. And now we just settle in. Start shooting him for 3 a turn. Not sure why I'm doing this. Oh, I'm hoping for the blowout. Yeah. They should have just game blocked it. Or they should have just blocked with 2 2/2s, you know? That was a bad attack on my part. It wasn't smart. It worked out for me, but it wasn't smart. And now they got their 5th land. So we could be in trouble here. Maybe I was also trying to clear the way for Flourishing Hunter. And they're tanking. I'm thinking they're kind of off it at this point. Oh, they made a 5/5. We drew another Spore Crawler, so feeling good. 5/5 still doesn't get through the Hunter. Minister is actually a big problem here. Oh, God. Yep, Circle of Confinement on the Wolf is really bad. Really bad right now. Way to deal with that. I need to start playing Bramble Worms at this stage, or I'm dead. Okay, yeah, I got... This is just a perfect draw, and I think I'm dead. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead here. There's nothing I can do. I need a way to kill the Minister to stop them from gaining life, and I'm not going to draw it, so... I mean, this is game over right now. I can't beat their Bomb Raider and all that. I just can't do it. My board isn't big enough now. And then they just get to go off with Bloodseeker. Gain a million life. There's really no point in playing this out. This is just a losing effort. Oh. Yeah, I got it. I don't need to see anymore. I'm done. Yep. I wasn't getting out of that. There's no point in playing any further. Fine hand on the play. Actually, no, it's not. What am I talking about? No, now it's an okay start. We had a 6-drop and a 7-drop. That's good. I do give them value here, which is a bummer, and then it shrinks my other wolf, and yeah. Deal 2, they get a blood token. It's a bad trade for me. But I can't block that thing, so... Staring. They can make their statuette. Whatever, so... At this point, things are not looking good. Still nothing, so I'm just chilling. Just hanging out. Nothing to do. Opponent's on all spells, and they have 2 blood tokens in play. This looks terrible. Looks terrible for me. Absolutely horrible. Oh god. Well, at least I can abrade that. That's a great target to abrade. Probably should have waited until after attacks. But whatever. I don't know why I'm trading here. Now I get no value from Flourishing Hunter, but I can play Spore Crawler. Because I could have swung back for 3. It was just, I'm just tilted. I shouldn't have traded there. I would have gained 2 from Flourishing Hunter and hit him back for 3. Now I have 2 Bramble Worms, so now I'm feeling pretty good. As long as I can get a 7th land. They can trade their... Well, they can trade those 2, or they can trade Statuette and one of the guests for... Well, no, they can't. They have to be able to sack. Okay, we got our land. So I think we just get in there and try to force them to trade here. Yep. Now we're looking good. We're assuming they'll have removal right away for this worm here, but... I'm looking for an answer. They might have found they have 5 mana here. But I'm at 25 life. So we'll see what they do. They have something. Oh, they have the deal for, you know, lacerate flesh. Yep. That's alright. They're in top deck mode. And we have another 7/6. So they got a top deck and answer here. No more blood tokens. And we're at 27. And we have a Spore Crawler. And we have 10 more life from 2 more Bramble Worms and a Trick, so. Alright, and they're off it. See, stats matter in this format because the removal's worse, right? Other than Bleed Dry and Fierce Retribution. Fine hand. Could use a 2-drop. But even if we don't get the 2-drop, we can pump Wolf and player 3. we get our 2. Wow. Yeah, they don't block. Then we can play our 2/3 here. Or we could try to keep the pressure up and just not block and take the 2 damage. We do have 3 ways to gain a shit ton of life with Flourishing Hunter and the 2 Bramble Worms, so something to think about. But we play it safe. And then this also means if we play Weaver Blossoms, we can play Spore Crawler and Ridge Wolf next turn. If they didn't kill it. But they have the perfect card, so we need that. Now we got a 4-drop. We're happy about that. That knife is going to be a problem on a first striker, but something else to do this turn. And it's a bomb rare. They have a bomb rare. So I can get in here. I can play Spore Crawler and Ridge Wolf, or I can play Wolf Strike and Ridge Wolf here. Not sure what's correct. Looks like I'm doing that. Okay, I'm just building the board. I'm trying to race now. I can pump Wolf and use Wolf Strike. Take 5, no problem. I mean, starting to be a problem, but at 10, they have a bomb rare that I can't get past, and now they have a fucking guest that they can gain life with. Yeah, not good. They could equip it and make it a 2/4, but they have Braid, of course. It's all good. And I believe that is lethal with the Werewolf or Snarling Wolf and Zaxxas. Oof, got there. Woofda. Woofda. Not a great hand, but we have a 2-drop, so we gotta keep it. If we draw a forest, we're alright. Oh, being on the play against Snarling Wolf is really bad. Finally got our forest. Right in time for a 4-drop. So that's gonna set us up. Next turn we have Falcon Wrath Celebrants. And now we get the big fatties online. For they need a trick here, basically. There's not a lot for 4 mana that green and red can do about a 7/6 trampler. So they need a trick. And they were trying to race. We were at 11. Yeah, Brambleworm just really changes the complexion of a game. Opponent's got 7 cards in hand. So they're all spells. We're running on empty here. Now they have a mythic rare. I mean, I guess we should have known they were going to have a mythic rare exactly when they needed it. Turns off all attacks from us. But we got to get in there. Gotta start clearing the way. Oh, they're going to go to 5, which I think is a huge mistake. That allows me to play out the second Weaver of Blossoms here. That land. So now, with a Snarling Wolf Pump, I don't think they have enough blockers. So I think we're going to get them. I mean, they have a creature, so they could, you know, very easily cast two creature spells here. But they need to get rid of Celebrants and cast a creature to live this turn. Because then they can... And even then, it's... I don't know how they get around the Brambleworm trampling. They need to be able to kill Brambleworm and Celebrants and play creature. Well, that's... Yep, nope, that'll do it. That's like the perfect card they needed in that moment. Like the actual perfect card they needed. Now they need to be able to kill Celebrants for 2 mana, which I don't think exists. So I just swing with the team here. Oh, and I draw Wold Strike, so that, you know, that does it. I think it's correct to take out Prowler here in case they do have Pump for Weary Prisoner. Because that would fuck up my attacks. So if they have Massive Might, then the Prisoner lives and can throw a block. I still think they might be dead. But hey. So, wait. Swing, swing. Block. 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 They take 4. Yeah, no, they're dead. They need a way to take out Celebrants here. Oh, they had Witch's Web. But that doesn't work. And Witch's Web. All right, 5-1. Let's keep going. I'm not sure what to think about Voldaren Epicure. I think if you're like really deep into blood, it's good, but usually I feel like the best blood decks wouldn't have it. Alright, opponent is trying to aggro me right the fuck out. No attacks, but I do have a block with Spore Crawler here. And if they can get rid of Spore Crawler, I'm going to take a bunch more damage. But I can theoretically play Mariner, and then I have blocks on both things, right? Even if they, well, yeah. I just block Spore Crawler. I don't care what they have. Spore Crawler is meant to die anyway. And this is amazing for me, right? They spent 2 cards. I spent nothing. So that was a 2-for-1 straight up. That was actually might have been it was a 2-for-0 because Sport Crawler replaces itself. So I will take that. No, of course they have the perfect there. They do have the perfect draw. Oh, we have a 4-drop. Still can't get in. We're going to start taking 2 damage here. So now we have to race a Courier Bat, which theoretically we could do, but we're going to take 3 this turn if they play Epicure. Another Gluttonous Guest is not good for us. I need a way to deal with that bat. Or I need a way to gain some life here. Yeah, didn't think they would block. I could double spell, play Blossoms and Runebound Wolf here, just to build out my board a little bit. And then I think I should have maybe casted. I was thinking I could double spell with Celebrants and the Celebrant. But wouldn't got a sketch. But they could, like, I don't know, man. I think they need to block here. Now I can either play Blood Petal Celebrant or, like, sack a blood token. But that's 6. It's getting sketchy. Need to find a Flourishing Hunter or a Bramble Worm. Still taking 2. I'm dead in 3 turns. That wolf deals 4 each time I tap it. But I'm getting blood dry, so now 3. And I need to draw action, or I'm dead. Wolf Strike is exactly what I needed. They really should have saved that bleed dry until my turn, in case I tried to Wolf Strike their thing. And they get in a braid? Okay, so things are looking good now. So now it's nighttime, so I can activate Runebound Wolf here. And start pinging them for 3, and they have no attacks. But I have to take this too, actually. Or no, I can block with Werewolf here. Maybe they want their blood token? Oh, they do want their blood token so they can gain life and then flip Bloodseeker here. Eventually try to flip Bloodseeker. Oh. Now, I can kill Bloodseeker. So they don't flip it. There we go. And boy. I'm thinking, right? Oh, that's pretty devastating. 4, gain 4, and put a 6/6 out on the field. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Wedding security is tough. It's a big boy. But they're off it. Stressing out. I think next turn. Yeah, then I have 4 wolves, so I'm zapping them for 4 each turn with Runebound Wolf. That's pretty good. This is not good. Again, hyper aggro. Red white, and I have shit mana. And of course, I get the red mana right after I can't do anything. But here we are. I'm assuming Weaver of Blossoms dies. But I think they goofed this up, if I remember right. Yes, they did. Yeah, they thought I would be killed by the Vampire Slayer there. So I'm just not gonna... Oops. Yeah, that's fine. So I could make a 3/3 Pummeler. Try to 2-for-1 him with it. But I'm going to play this wolf, leave up Wolf Strike, because I feel like they have a trick. They're red-white, they gotta have a trick, right? And I'm greedy with those damn Magma Pummelers. Opponent is in the tank. We're definitely ahead on board here. They are up on cards, but we have an extra land in play. Our board is better. I think our cards are better suited for late game than usually you'd see in a red-white deck. So we're definitely advantaged here. Markov Waltzer is a fucking problem. And I can't kill it, right? So I think I gotta play for the late game. F the wolf, whatever. If I draw land next turn, I can play a hunter. Or I can play a big fat pummeler. Hunter's gonna help us get back into this. I could have played Weaver and Wolf Strike, but like what am I gonna... Or hold up Wolf Strike, but that doesn't do anything. I'm not Wolf Striking a Voldaren Epic here, that's for sure. Another one. Loving our spot here. Now we just Wolf Strike the Waltzer. definitely want to do that before attacks, in case they have like Divine Retribution or whatever it is. I think we can start getting in and play another Weaver of Blossoms. But I feel like they're holding something. Yeah, I should have gotten in there. I should have gotten in. That was stupid. I don't know. I'm afraid of 2 1/1s. I'm at 11 life. I don't know. Right. Oh, clearly, I have to go in now. Well, I can play the largest. Why am I so afraid here? Even, I think I just do it for 5, yeah, and I keep a braid up. And then we get a bramble worm. Okay. This game's over. I should have swung with one of the werewolves, I think, but... Ooh, they go to 3. Pretty good. Now I can magma, or I can abrade my own pummeler here, and win, because I can redirect that to any target. So I can just lava spike him with it and shrink my pummeler. Goofy way to close this one out, but here we are. They gonna look for some answers? Oh, they are. Here we go. Oof. Aren't gonna get it. There we go. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, we got there. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's red-green beatdown for you. I think it's a good deck. I think red-green beatdown is strong in this format. The ramp is there to get to Brambleworm and Flourishing Hunters to survive. I don't think Flourishing Hunter is that great, but Brambleworm is the truth. So, that's it. Alrighty. That'll do it.